Morning, everybody, and welcome to the 1 Million Cups Mankato 3rd anniversary. We are live on Facebook. I'm just gonna give us just a moment to let everybody gather and to have you all see these fun slides with quotes from some of our past presenters, a couple of facts about 1 Million Cups Mankato, and then we'll get rocking and rolling. If you're joining us on Facebook, you can comment on Facebook, and we'll be keeping an eye on that. And we'll add questions into Zoom, or you're very welcome to join us on Zoom. You will find the address for us on Zoom at 1millioncups.com/Mankato. The number 1millioncups.com/Mankato. We'll hope you'll join the conversation today. It'll be great. All right, Mike, if you're ready to take it away, you can go ahead and start up our slides and we'll get going. We have a really fun 1 Million Cups anniversary event for you today. So welcome, welcome. It's been 3 years since we started 1 Million Cups in Mankato. 1 Million Cups is a Kauffman Foundation, a nonprofit organization with 150 chapters all across the country. And we're one of them here in Mankato. We're so excited to see you all today. We're going to start with a thank you from our organizers. We'll start with each one of the organizers introducing themselves. So go ahead and unmute in order.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Mike Hahn, and I'm the Regional Director for the South Central Small Business Development Center, which is hosted at Minnesota State University, Mankato.
And I'm Gary Schett, also with the SBDC, Small Business Development Center, and the point person for 1 Million Cups and On the Road, which will particularly be highlighting. So I'm excited to share with you a few of those stories, and hope you enjoy. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Yvonne Caribou. I'm the director for the College of Business Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship at Minnesota State Mankato. I'm an entrepreneur myself, and I'm one of the 3 organizers on the group here that are original organizers from when we started 3 years ago.
Hey everybody, I'm Brittany Sieg. I am with Farmers Insurance here in Mankato, and I am a recruiter for 1 Million Cups. So
my name is Dustin Moen. I own Moen Welding and Repair, and I am also a recruiter for 1 Million Cups.
My name is Sarah Hansen. I'm co-owner of Functional Chiropractic Rehab, and I help out with the coaching.
I think that's all the organizers that are here today. A big thank you to all the organizers that are here and everyone that's helped us throughout the last 3 years. We have some organizers that aren't here today and that aren't on the team anymore. They've rotated in and out, and we want to say a sincere thank you to everyone that's made 1 Million Cups happen for the last 3 years, including our sponsors. We have the most wonderful sponsors. The Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship helps to support the 1 Million Cups, but also Mogwai, Dunkin' Donuts, and Pioneer Bank provide coffee and prizes to help build some excitement and have everyone have a great time when they come to 1 Million Cups. Tailwind Group and Connect help us with getting the word out to the community about 1 Million Cups. And SCORE and Pinnacle Business Solutions provide support for 1 Million Cups Mankato, and we're so appreciative to all of these sponsors. Thank you. So the mission of 1 Million Cups is to make sure that our entrepreneurs have the support and the help, the resources and education, and that support is available to all types of new and aspiring entrepreneurs. There's over 100 1 Million Cups groups meeting every Wednesday morning. It's called 1 Million Cups because the idea is everyone's got a cup of coffee, and there's 1 million cups of coffee, all caffeinating entrepreneurs. Today, we're going to highlight something that we've done that no other 1 million cups has done around the country. We call it On the Road. And to introduce you to that and tell you all about it is the gentleman who's been running our On the Road program for this last year and done a terrific job with it, Gary Schott.
Hey, thanks, Yvonne. It definitely has been fun. Something we piloted in 2019. When we started 1 million cups from the get-go, we were thinking regional. We wanted to be building a regional system, not just in Mankato, North Mankato, that supports entrepreneurs and gets those stories out. In 2019, Waseca was very kind to pilot, and we went remote. Although we have a great host here in MSU at the Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship, we said, let's take it to the community, go to the table, go to their table. We did a show out there, broadcasted it back here for people that did come to Mankato to see it. It worked well. And we decided, let's forge forward and do this on a regular basis. So once a month, let's go on the road and bring the show to the whole region. And we then did that again at Waseca and St. Peter, and then COVID hit. And we thought, oh man, what are we going to do? We got to sort through this, figured it out, the virtual part, started doing the Zoom and said, well, it's not what we were expected, but can we do this with Zoom? And so fortunately, we had a number of communities that cooperated and said, yep, we're in, even though it's going to be via Zoom, and let's try this. So we had 5 communities that worked with us, in addition to from Waseca and St. Peter, New Ulm, Montgomery, and Springfield. And so over the course of On the Road, we've highlighted 12 regional entrepreneurs with great stories, and we're pleased about that. We appreciate the support of our connecting points at those communities of economic development people. We have some of those people on the line today, so hopefully you'll connect with them and hear more about their communities. But we're going to highlight 3 today that they have interesting stories in a panel. We have Trio Wine Cafe in Waseca with Jeremy and Carrie Sharp. Next to Generations Boutique, Chelsea Hoffman in St. Peter. And then last, Cala Contemporary Woodworking, Jamie and Harold Enamorado in New Ulm. And this panel is going to be facilitated by the editor of one of our key sponsors, the Connect Business Magazine, the editor, Lisa County, who's does a great job and help unravel and understand their stories. So Lisa, take it away.
All right. Thank you, Gary. Yeah, it's been a pleasure to get to know these 3 businesses over the last few weeks. And what's interesting is they're all in different times in their business lives, and they're all very different businesses. But one thing they share is I think they all found the 1MC movement to be quite impactful on their businesses. So I want to start by having each one of them just give a quick overview of who they are and what their business is. And let's start with Carrie and Jeremy Sharp with Trio Wine Cafe. Good morning, guys.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
So Trio Wine Cafe, we are located in downtown Waseca at the main intersection of Old 14 and State Highway 13 in the main intersection, so Street and Elm. We feature a large menu of boutique wines from all over the world, craft beers, unique cocktails, and we even started bourbon flights recently as well, so that's kind of fun. We have arrays of non-alcoholic drinks as well. Now, in addition to that, we have a full food menu, so it is a family-friendly environment during the normal hours. So if the family wants to come in and have a bite to eat, we can certainly do that. We're located in a former bank, so the business and the building has tons of character. And so we provide a very casual atmosphere to people so they can come and hang out and enjoy their evening.
All right, great. Thank you, Jeremy. And let's move on to Jamie now with Cala.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My husband Harold and I own Cala Contemporary Woodwork, which is located at 1200 Water Street in New Ulm. We make custom furniture made from wood and metal, and we also have a sawmill. So we saw up wood for our own use, and we also offer that service out to the community.
All right, great, thank you. And Chelsea with Generations.
Morning. I have Generations Boutique in St. Peter. We are at the corner of Minnesota, which is 169 and Grace Street. Big green awning. We offer women's clothing, sizes small to 3X, so really all sizes. And then accessories, shoes, jewelry, and then during the holidays we do a couple giftings as well. but we've been here for 5 years now, and looking forward to many more.
Yeah, great. Well, thanks to all of you for presenting on the road over the past year. And I know, in speaking with all of you, that it did help you in one way or another sort of advance your business and even pivot in the times of COVID. So I might have each of you now talk about your 1 million cup experience and how the feedback that you got at your presentation helped your business. So let's start again with Jeremy and Carrie at Trio.
All right, so it's really been invaluable for us. We've presented a couple of times, and the first time was when we were really new and we were kind of expanding and kind of going everywhere. And then, like you said, COVID hit, and so we had kind of a review. Decided to do a rebranding, and you guys were kind of our sounding board, and that was really good because we had a lot of difficult questions asked, and it made us really take a look at what we were doing. But it was so helpful because we really adjusted our focus and really started, looking at what was really important.
Mm-hmm. We made some great connections on the marketing side as well. And so we had some questions on how do we do this? And so whether it was directly on the 1MC conference call or connection we made through that, we had connection points with somebody in the marketing group. And so they were able to help us with that rebrand and refresh. And so the relationships and the connections were absolutely invaluable.
Oh, great. And we'll come back to you guys in a little bit with more on that. But now let's move on to Jamie. I know also you found the 1MC experience to be quite impactful.
Yeah, definitely. So we had in our business plan, we planned a major expansion and also had the opportunity to get into a new building. And it just so happened that we had these plans started before COVID hit, and then COVID hit, and we were in the middle of this, like, do we really want to do this undertaking when the future is so unknown? And the answer from my husband was yes. I wasn't feeling as confident as he was, but I think doing the 1 million cups presentation and sharing, we're like a baby of a business. We've been around for just under 3 years, and we've grown so fast that at times we've almost felt like the business was going faster than we were. And it was just nice to be in a community that looked at our products and were super supportive and excited about what we were doing, and kind of gave us the confidence that we needed to say, this is the right time. It is COVID, but we're going to make it work. We have a supportive community, and we're going to do this. And I have to say, I think that we expanded to include a sawmill in our business, and it was a huge investment for us. And not really knowing how it was going to work out, and then doing 1 million cups and getting connected with Radio Mankato specifically. I ended up doing an interview with Radio Mankato, and it aired on all the radio stations. And my husband started getting calls, and he said to me one day, "Were you on the radio?" Like, yes. So we got tons and tons of calls from the Mankato community, and really that has been so great for us, because just our customers from Mankato are paying for the sawmill itself. And so that those concerns that we had aren't there anymore, because we've got really loyal customers in both New Ulm and Mankato that utilize our sawmill on a regular basis. So that was a major help that we got from 1 million cups. We also made a great connection with a guy named John, who is the owner of Run of the Mill in Mankato. And he's been in this business for so long. And, we have pretty much exactly the same business, and he does not see it as we're competitors. He has given us so much incredible information about how to run our business in a smart way. We had an issue with one of our tables once, and he brought his whole team over to help us figure it out. And so we've just made connections through 1 million cups that are totally priceless and have really helped us through this big expansion during unknown, scary times.
Yeah, I think 1 Million Cups is great about that, showing how supportive the business community is throughout our region and supporting each other.
Yeah.
And we'll let Chelsea get a chance to hop on here and talk about her 1 Million Cups experience.
Hi, I did my presentation in February this year in St. Peter, and through all this time, I really enjoyed the relationships that we have built. Just meeting all the people that support 1 Million Cups, the other entrepreneurs, that has been wonderful. I got so much out of the presentation itself, or like the people around it, that I met so many new people, and just going forward with like marketing and banking, and during COVID and everything, it was actually, I felt like 1 Million Cups was the perfect timing for me, because with like the marketing, I met some marketing people, I met some banking people, and my past banker had passed away. So my new banker was there, and so we kind of met that, and then marketing, and you kind of just meet people, and it just keeps going. It's like a never ending roller coaster, so to say. But it's just really put me, it just really, I don't know how to say this, but it's been such a blessing to meet so many people and so many different views, whether they're entrepreneurs, bankers, Gustavus has helped out too in our community. With marketing, they're doing a marketing class. Some college students are, I'm working with some college students with marketing this fall. And so that's kind of been a big help too. But I met their teacher at 1 Million Cups presentation in February. And, so there's all these connections, and it's really been wonderful.
Yeah, it's a great ecosystem, I think, and 1 Million Cups is a part of that, of helping build that and keep that going. And you've all alluded to that dreaded COVID word that's come in and impacted everyone's business, and sort of how that's changed your business model and how you've had to do things. So I'll go back with Jeremy and Carrie to talk about Trio. And you actually expanded and you're building there to help get through COVID. So talk a little bit about that pivot.
We did. We were really scared when things shut down, and in June we had to completely close because our food was not built to transport. Now we do have an off-sale license, and so we have a wine club that kind of has gone that way. But one of the things that we really wanted to be when we first started was truly a wine cafe. And when we bought the business, it was a coffee shop, and so we had the equipment, and so that kind of became part of the fold. And so we were open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and we were trying to satisfy what a lot of the community was asking for. And it was taking us further away from where we wanted to be. And that said, we were watching the numbers and it just wasn't coming together the way we had hoped. And, this was in year 1. So we're only 2 years old right now. And so we very quickly realized that we had to overcome it and we had to pivot. And so what we decided to do is we let go of breakfast and lunch. Our lunches were extremely popular, and so that was a very unpopular decision. But I'll tell you, as I alluded to, the connections we made in 1MC talking about that idea, and Jamie, you talked about being scared, do you do this? They helped me calm down to realize, hey, you crunch the numbers, you look at it, you make the choice, and you move forward. And it's been a huge success for us. And now we have so many more customers that we never had before. We expanded into our basement. Previously, there was a temporary retail boutique in the basement. She is moving into her own storefront, and so that gave us a chance to move in there. With the governor's executive order on 50% capacity, we had to reduce our main seating area by 50%. But with the expansion in the basement, people are safely spaced more than 6 feet apart. And actually, I really like the vibe that's created. It's really casual. And it opens it up a lot more. And it doesn't feel like a lunch shop anymore. It feels like a place where you want to go and open a bottle of wine and hang out for an hour or two. And so as a restaurant, if you've ever worked in the restaurant industry, if you are working on lunches, you got to turn your tables, 1.5 to 2 times every lunch to make the dollars flow. And now our model is completely different. And we absolutely can enjoy 2-hour seat times and we can still be profitable. And so we're way in a better spot now than we ever have been. So one of the blessings was having the marketing group to be able to bounce that off of and talk to the people at 1MC to help me understand am I looking at this right? Because when we built our original plan had 2 years to bake and marinate and change, and working with the SBDC and all that stuff. And COVID, we didn't know if we were going to come out of it. And then when we realized we were, well, we've got 30 to 60 days to pull this Band-Aid off and get move, and so, and we did it. And now we're way happier. We're way more profitable. It's just a better business model for us.
Yes, it's an example of how, taking the uncertainty of COVID and making it into an opportunity rather than something that's going to kill your business.
Right.
Yeah, good. All right, and Jamie, I know you also have experience with expanding and some building issues, as you guys recently purchased a building in New Ulm. So talk about that whole process.
Okay, sure. So, yeah, COVID has been hard for all of us. I think the benefit for our business was that most of our sales were online at this point when COVID first started. And the funny thing is, we expected our ratio of online sales and local sales, we expected our online sales to go up and maybe our local sales to go down. But we are just in such a supportive community. Like, our community is so supportive, and I think that the Chamber of Commerce has done a really good job, and all of the local businesses have been doing a good job to support each other and to encourage people to shop locally. And the radio time that we received from Radio Mankato, our local sales are probably even with our online sales. They've grown. We're doing better locally. And so the support we've received from our community helps with that a lot. And also, I think it helps that we have a property now in New Ulm, and a lot of people learned about us through the acquisition of this property. So I am gonna build up my husband's ego a little bit, because it was definitely not my idea. He's much more business savvy than I am. But just watching him, if I could give any entrepreneur advice, it would be to search out the opportunities, not wait for them to come to you. And Harold has always been that way. And so we searched out this opportunity to get this building in New Ulm. It was a dump. It was a dump. It'd been sitting vacant for 20 years in terrible condition. And the city was willing to sell it to us for $1. So the reason why we got this opportunity is because we looked for it. We didn't wait for somebody to come present it to us. And when it came time for us to seal the deal, there were some people in our community that were upset about this, that the property was being given to us for $1. And what they hadn't realized was that we had been in this process for months, and it was something that we searched out. And any business owner has that same exact opportunity if they want it. And so there was and a lot of people didn't know what the building looked like on the inside either. And so they thought, wow, this building is $1, they're getting a freebie. Not a freebie. We've put a lot of money into restoring this building. And Harold and our wonderful craftsman we have, his name's Chuck, who we also hired through 1 Million Cups. I can't believe I forgot that. We'd been searching for someone for the longest time, and then we got a great connection through the Chamber of Commerce in New Ulm and hired an amazing craftsman. His name is Chuck. Him and Harold have done a lot of work themselves, and the transformation in this building is incredible. And so this has been a wonderful opportunity for us. And we also got the opportunity to kind of explain our situation to our community. And once the community fully understood what was going on, they've really supported us. And so they really had our back. But we also, Harold also searched out an opportunity. We're getting those ash trees cut down all over the place because of the plague that's affecting the trees. He saw an opportunity and jumped on it, and we went through and did all the permits and got all the permissions and paid all the money to be able to take those ash trees. And now there are other business owners saying, well, why do you get the ash trees? Because you have to look for your own opportunities. Don't wait for them to come to you, search them out. So yeah, I think that's been our saving grace during COVID, is to not be passive, be active.
Right. And to seek out collaboration, right? Whether it's with the city or
Yes.
other businesses. Yeah. Good.
Yes, definitely don't see the city or the chamber as not being with you, because they are with you. They want you to be successful. So we've had a wonderful relationship with the city of New Ulm, a great relationship with the Chamber of Commerce, which I'm probably biased, but I think it's the best one in the state. And I mean, the Southern Minnesota Business Center also, our finances were a mess. And I think Wendy was horrified, but she's helped us a lot. And so just don't be afraid to ask for help and make good relationships.
And Chelsea, I know you with Generations also appreciate community support. And let's talk about how the community has supported you in your growth as a business.
Yes, definitely community support. We rely on that. They've been wonderful here in St. Peter, and the surrounding communities, to be honest. During this time of like what Jamie and the Trio Wine Cafe had said, during this time of uncertainties, you really look for what you can do. Look for those opportunities. Don't just wait for them, like Jamie had mentioned. With COVID and everything, we were shut down for 2.5 months, 2 months, whatever it was long enough for a small business, as you guys all know. But you just got to push. What we did is pushed for more online sales, worked really hard to do live videos with all of our new merchandise. We offered curbside pickup on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays if you wanted to come pick it up instead of shipping it out, which a lot of my locals did, just so we didn't have to spend the money on shipping. I even offered to drop things off at St. Peter residents' houses. I did quite a bit of that. Rang the doorbell and left, of course, during that time. But during COVID, you just really sit back and think about everything, what you worked for, what you're pushing for, what you really want. And actually, this year, like both of them have said, that this year has been an eye-opener, but it also kind of pushes you where you really need to be, like numbers, books, everything. I feel as though my numbers are getting better this year, ratio-wise, or like buying and selling and all that kind of stuff. You really look at all those numbers too and think, what do you really need? What's really going to sell? And you push forward with that. So that's kind of been a help too. During this time, you really look at more in depth what your business needs, and during a time of uncertainty, you go forward with what you can. So, but with the community, they've been a huge help. Whether, like I told you, I've been dropping off product or their purchases, and curbside and online ordering. So that's been a huge help too during, well, now we're open, but we still do quite a bit of online sales as well. So that's been good too. So
I wish entrepreneurs everywhere could hear your stories, because there's so much to learn from all three of you about how you pivoted and made the most of a very uncertain situation. And sadly, the uncertainty is going to continue for a few more months. The governor's speaking again later tonight, of course. So what can we as a community do for each of you, or what do you see as next steps for your business? And we'll go back to you, Jeremy and Carrie.
I think for us, we have just always appreciated the open and honesty and the questions and all of that. And all of that is still so important right now. Of course, we this week, and actually last week too, we've every time we hear that the governor's going to make an announcement, we sit down and we say, okay, what are we going to do if this happens? What are we going to do if that happens? So I think because we learned from last time that you have to have a plan, you have to think about what you're going to do, but also you have to be ready to be super flexible and change at a moment's notice, and be willing to try new things. So that's something that we're doing right now. Of course, we have these really lofty goals if everything goes well, and then we have our goals and our ideas and things that we are going to think about doing if things don't go as well. Like, what might he say today? What might he say next week? Where are we going to be in 2 months, 2 weeks, whatever? We have no idea. But I think knowing that we have the support of a group that we can come to and kind of bounce ideas off, or find somebody. I mean, we constantly, when we are in these meetings, we find somebody, 2 or 3 different people that we want to talk to after, that we make connections with. And so even today, I'm writing stuff down, people's names and things, people that I want to reach out to. And I think that's the biggest thing right now, is just really being able to be flexible. And we talk all the time. We're like, okay, what if this, so kind of.
Yeah. And so, what are we thinking about what's next? Well, there's, like Gary said, there's several different lists. And last time when we had to shut down, we had a lot of food waste. And so we're trying to make sure that we keep our menu in check, because we do have ambitions to expand the menu a little bit, but we're going to just put that on pause for now. And so that's why we've expanded on our drink offerings, because those have a shelf life of over a year. So we can weather that storm. But last time we drank our inventory, so heaven help us all, right?
Not all of it.
Not all of it, but anything. There we go. But no, we've really expanded a little bit, and we're moving into our wine club more aggressively to create that residual income. And similar to Chelsea, we did delivery as well, because we have the right licensor, so we can do the off sale and we can do alcohol delivery and all that stuff in town. And so we expanded our wine club to create that residual income. So it's nice to have that quarterly income regardless of COVID pressure. So again, just like what she said, we show up, we get a signature. Unfortunately, we have to have a signature, so we monitor safety in that way. But yeah, we've kind of got into that, and so that's become pretty exciting. And our membership has grown 2x since we last talked to 1MC. So it's going well.
Good, awesome. And Jamie, how about for you? What's next for Cala?
Well, I think so far we're kind of in the same boat as Trio, that we have some goals, but as far as making concrete plans at this point, it's kind of hard to do because we're in kind of unknown times. I think we're affected in kind of a different way because we're not a retail space. But when things do shut down and when school goes to online and we have kids at home, this affects kind of like our, it affects everybody trying to figure out who's just today, our twins are in quarantine. So Harold's here now. After I'm done answering this question, I got to go and he's going to take over. So just trying to coordinate and figure out what are we going to do with the kids? Who's going to do this? Who's going to do that? That can make it kind of difficult. And this is our 4th quarantine since September. We've got 3 kids, and it's affected, our staff as well. So just trying to figure out scheduling and making sure we always have someone available to work in the shop. And also the state of the economy impacts us very much too, because we sell a luxury item. It's more expensive than what you're going to get at Walmart or IKEA. And so people typically only buy from us when they have excess cash on hand. And with shutdowns, there might not be excess cash on hand. And so we just are always kind of keeping it in the back of our mind. What are we going to do if sales go down? Like, how could we create more standard economical products? Or, so we're kind of trying to think of some plans right now of what we can do in an unknown future, but also going with the flow of the business too. We have a potential opportunity to partner with an interior design company in Qatar. Who knew? Who knew? But we've been going through the motions on this for a few weeks now, and it could be a very big deal for us. And if it works out, well, then the plan for the future is to go international.
Wow. You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah.
Right. And Chelsea, I know that you have to get going soon. So we're talking about balancing personal and professional lives. That's a whole nother panel, I think. But yeah, any parting thoughts from you, Chelsea?
Well, with this the season of the holidays are really big for us here with retail and clothing and just the gift of giving. So we are looking, hoping, and praying to have a really good holiday season. That being said, there's always the what ifs. What if we close down again? What if all of that? You know, we're gonna go with the flow. We have some plans, but like they were all saying, you know, with quarantine and kiddos, and I'm due with my second here in the next couple weeks. So I'll be off, and then that's one less person to be at the shop if, you know, another employee gets or has to quarantine or anything like that. So we are just hoping and praying for a good holiday season and hoping that we don't have to quarantine as much, or, you know, like just we don't have to close down. Hopefully the governor doesn't say anything like that today, but we're just praying for a good holiday season. So.
Well, thanks to all of you on the panel today. There's so much to learn from all of you and your lessons over the past year and even moving forward. I think, Gary, are we having breakouts coming up soon, or is it time for that?
Excuse me. Yes, Lisa. Yvonne will facilitate in just a minute and tee it up with a slide. I would want to add, and a great thanks for sharing all those stories, and I'm sure people enjoyed that. We do also have some other past on the road presenters online. We have Michelle with Simply Clean, Aaron from Live Your Truth, Emily with Pleasant Grove Pizza Farm, and I may have missed somebody. I apologize. If those people, if you could raise your hand, click on the raise the hand option so people can see who you are, and then you might be in the breakouts with them. Hope you get a chance to meet them along with maybe some of our panelists. So thanks, Lisa, for doing a great job as always. Yvonne, I'll turn it to you.
What a great conversation. I'm always inspired by listening to entrepreneurs, aren't you all? That just, I mean, the pivoting and the thinking about adversity and overcoming it is just incredible. It's the best. So now it's time for all of us to have conversations with one another. And, you know, one of the things we miss when we meet in person is that opportunity to meet someone new. So you might get a chance to meet someone new because we're going to go into breakout rooms, and we're going to do that randomly. So you'll get put into a breakout room with just a couple of other people. And in that breakout room, we have two things for you to start your conversation. A little elevator pitch about who you are and what organization you're with or what it is you're doing right now. And then what aha did you get from that panel discussion? Are there any aha moments that you want to share with one another? So that's your assignment for the breakout. So we'll all go into the breakout, and then Sarah will bring us back to the main room to wrap up our meeting. Sarah's going to set us all up for breakout rooms in just a moment.
Yeah, I think it's actually going to be Jill, right? Jill.
Oh, I'm sorry. Jill going to do that.
Just so
I was going to say, I do not have access to breakout rooms.
Sorry, Sarah. Scared you.
I'm going to go ahead and set them up, and they're just going to be random. And when were we going to have everyone come back?
I think 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, 10 minutes. Great. Exactly. That'll work.
Sounds good. I'll open the rooms.
And so when it comes up, you'll get a note, join the breakout. And when you exit, just click on leave the breakout. Don't leave the meeting.
Did you see your little spot where it says down there to join the room in the corner?
No, actually, I accidentally left because I have to leave here in like 5 minutes. So for another meeting, but I'm trying to answer a question that someone.
Oh, no worries. I just didn't know if you had trouble or maybe somehow you got missed. Okay, thank you.
And I joined, and then I looked at the time, and I have to leave in 5 minutes. So I'm just going to answer these questions and then probably exit out. Thank you.
Hi, we're doing a couple of breakout rooms happening right now, and everyone's going to be coming back to the main room shortly, just in a couple minutes if you wanted to wait.
Well, that was fun. So Mike, can you get us set up with our slides again? What a great opportunity to chat with a few people. As everybody's coming back from the breakout rooms, we'll get our slides back up and going. Oh, and I've got a poll I'll queue up. Wait for everybody to get back in the room. And for those of you watching for Facebook, I just realized that that was probably kind of boring watching the blank screen while we were all in breakout rooms. Or maybe it went to one of the breakout rooms. I don't know. We'll find out later.
Here, and then we had a couple people join us, and so
Good.
Yeah, it went okay.
I hadn't thought about that. All right, I've got a poll I'm gonna pop up real quick. It just indicate if it's your first time at Million Cups, if you're an entrepreneur. Mike, you can go ahead and set up our slides whenever you're ready. While we're doing the poll. Thanks for your responses. I'll end the poll and show the results. Most folks here have been to 1 Million Cups before, not unexpected on an anniversary. Please encourage folks that you know that have new business ideas, that are working on businesses, to come to 1 Million Cups. It's always free, it's always supportive. We want very much for everybody to have the same sort of experience that you heard about from the panelists, where they find great connections that really help move their businesses forward. We're here to support entrepreneurs throughout the region, not just in Mankato, even though it's called 1 Million Cups Mankato. We really see ourselves as a regional resource for the entire southwest part of the state. And look at all the entrepreneurs that are here today. This is an organization for entrepreneurs by entrepreneurs. We also have a lot of great folks who are here supporting from organizations that help entrepreneurs too. So that's really neat. So what's coming up? Well, number one, I wanted to stop and say a thank you to Gary Schott. Gary has helped to run the On the Road for this whole last year and made it a terrific success. I invite you all to join me in using the reactions in Zoom and giving him a round of applause, a little virtual round of applause. He has worked with chambers of commerce and contacts all throughout the region, at first driving around and then lots of phone calls and Zoom meetings to coordinate our 1 Million Cups on the Road events. And I've found them to be fantastic. So thanks so much, Gary, for doing that. And going ahead into 2021, there's going to be more 1 Million Cups on the road. We're super excited that Albert Lee is going to be on the road on December 16th. Thanks so much for Brad helping to coordinate that. That's terrific. And Leah, who's on the call today from the city of Montgomery, has agreed to take over for Gary. And in 2021, she's going to be leading the On the Road. So thanks so much, Leah. Thanks everyone for coming. Every Wednesday, we have 1 Million Cups at 8:30. Next week, 2 student entrepreneurs, Doghouse and Sherpa, will be presenting. I don't know if you saw earlier, but about 28% of our presenters in the last 3 years have been student entrepreneurs, people starting up their businesses either in high school or college. That's unique in the country. There's very few places that have that many student entrepreneurs presenting. So let's keep that rolling. Students, get the word out, and we want to see you up presenting for 1 Million Cups too. So I hope to see you all. Next week, there'll be no meeting for Thanksgiving, and there will not be one the week of Christmas. So giving you a little heads up about that too. But otherwise, we're here every week, every Wednesday at 8:30. You can always find the link on the Facebook page or on our 1 Million Cups page. So thanks everybody for coming. Hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll see you next week.